So we are back, Mr. Smith here. We're about to take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals depth chart, and the first thing that we're always going to do is, of course, auto reorder. Now, I know just by default, these Jason Campbell definitely has some pretty good throw power, and when we're talking about quarterbacks, we definitely need that to be a big thing. So we can't, even though we do have Dalton at an 86 as our #1 guy, we certainly don't want to go down to 84 with a third string. So we're going to keep that as is. Now, when it comes to running backs, Jeremy Hill at 6'1", 233 pounds, we definitely like that compared to 5'9", 208. The speed isn't that much of a difference, but the agility and acceleration is. So it's really going to depend for you what you prefer. Do you prefer a power back? Do you prefer a speed back? As far as overall goes, even though I don't look at it that much, it is only a 1-point difference. So elusiveness is 88 to 78. We need to look at ball carrier vision. 93 is a big number, and I do love ball carrier vision. If you use the stiff arm button, then a 93 is great to have. So Jeremy Hill could be a great option if you love the stiff arm. If you don't use a stiff arm, then it doesn't matter what a stiff arm rating is. See what I'm saying? So if you don't even touch stiff arm, you're going to probably go with Giovanni Bernard, really, because this is one of Jeremy Hill's best attributes. Spin move, pretty similar. Juke move, a lot of people use it. We got Bernard's a lot better. Carry, if you're looking about ball protection, obviously Jeremy Hill is quite a bit better. I do believe that players are going to fumble in head-to-head games for the most part when we're talking about using default teams. It's not like Mutt, so I find it's a little bit different. So what other numbers do we have? It really depends what you like. Stamina, I mean, Jeremy Hill with an 82 stamina, really a good philosophy to go by is really just to go with Bernard as your #1 guy because of that low stamina. And then when you need that power on, say, 2nd and 3 or 2nd and 4, 3rd and 2 or something, then you can bring in Jeremy Hill. So definitely going to go with Bernard at #1. I just like his style better for what I do. And then when we're looking at Pierman and Burkhead, again, there's no way we're going with an 81 speed guy at 5'10", 218 unless his trucking is 99, and it's 59, so this guy's not even going to see my field. Then we've got Ryan Hewitt, only fullback on the team. Nothing we're really going to do there. If we want to put a tight end and like sub-in formation or whatever, we could do that. As far as wide receiver goes, there's no dispute that we're going with AJ Green at #1. We don't even need to look at his numbers. So let's compare 6'2" Marvin Jones with 6'2" Mohamed Sanu. So speed is 91, strength is a little better for Sanu, 92 agility. Agility isn't that big of a deal for a wide receiver, especially if their acceleration is an 88. So what other numbers do we have? Trucking doesn't matter. Ball carrier vision can help. It'll be those little brush off tackles after you catch the ball. It can help for yards after the catch. Stiff arm if you like to use it with a wide receiver. Spin move if you like to catch and spin. I mean, Marvin Jones does have a little bit better numbers here, but at the end of the day, what we really need to focus on is the catching, the route running, and the catch in traffic along with the spec catch. These numbers, for the most part, even though these route running and catch in traffic are close, spec catch and catching are not even close. So it's no debate. We're going with Marvin Jones. And then, what do we got here? 79 to 72, 77 to 64, and then we're definitely going with Sanu at #3. So really, there's not much of a debate there. Do we have any gems sitting down here low on the depth chart with some height? That's really what I'm going to do, is I'll look to see if we have any gems as far as like crazy speed goes, or maybe some height, but clearly. Now for tight ends, I definitely do like that speed. We got Eifert and Gresham. Again, if we want to look at overall, we can. That's a 4-point difference, but for me, I'm definitely not going to. We've got a little bit more agility and acceleration with Eifert. Strength's a little better. We're looking at Eifert with 1-point difference in height. Awareness is 79 to 62. We will take that into consideration, even though I don't really care about it. If it comes close, I will take awareness into consideration. Those numbers are nowhere near anything spectacular, so even though it's an 11-point difference, it doesn't matter. Ball carrier vision is close. Stiff arm, don't really care. Spin move of the tight end, if he's got some good speed. This guy's kind of medium speed, so a 77 spin move compared to a 65. I mean, I don't know how much I'm going to be spinning with a tight end like that. Maybe if it was Vernon Davis, we're talking spin move, that might be a little different, or a Jared Cook. A juke move of the tight end doesn't matter at all. We're not going to be doing that. If we're going to be juke moving with our tight end, you're probably not going to be winning many games anyway, so you probably shouldn't even be watching this video. Sorry, I had to be a dick for a second. Spectacular catch, Eifert, definitely 89. We like that number a lot. Jump, 3-point difference. What other numbers do we have? Run block, and pass block, not too far off. Kind of almost evens itself out. Impact blocking, Eifert, 10 points. That can make a difference. Stamina and injury doesn't matter, because if a guy gets injured, just going to the second guy anyway. So, honestly, let's go back to catch and catch in traffic, 87 to 81, 82, 84, and spec catch. It's got to be Eifert. It's got to be. It's really not even that. It's close, but it's not really that close when you think about it all. And then Alex Smith is. Do we have anybody here? There's no gems, so unless somebody's got some really good catching, you know, which is not the case. Let's just take a look at run block, because run block could come into play. Does anybody have anything here? What do I see there? Oh, those are linemen. So at tight end, there's nothing special, so we will move on. Now, Whitworth, the 96, we're not even going to look at that. Left tackle by default. We see he's 94 strength. No issue there. Clint Bowling, I mean, we're talking about a 6'5", 311-pound lineman. I like that. 82 overall, but only 82 strength. That I do not like. Is Bodine? See, now here's the situation, because, well, first of all, I was going to say if Pollock was good, we could then put Bodine or Bodine at left guard. But 97 strength compared to 81. 70. We like the speed, you know, at center that Pollock can provide, but his acceleration is much lower anyway. So, you know what? I'm just. It's going to take a lot here. These numbers are going to have to be way far off for it to be even a question. 85 and 81 to 73 and 7. Or sorry, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. 76 and 79 to 85 and 73. Oh, see, this is tough, eh? I got to tell you, this is the first real discrepancy probably that a lot of people are going to make. I like the strength, man. I'm taking the 10 pounds and the 16 points in strength. Even with the less speed, I'm just taking it. I'm going height, weight, and strength, number one. I mean, yes, there's a difference in the run blocking and everything, but I just got to do it, man. I got to do it. That's just what I do. So Clint Bowling, 82 overall, 82 strength. Let's see here. See, it matters. Who's my other guys? So Zeitler and Andre Smith. Okay, so I know that if I want to put Winston in here, I could, but he's only an 82 strength. Whitworth, Andre Smith, they both have incredible strength. Newhouse, 6'4", 319, 88 strength, something to consider. Let me look at his acceleration, 84, and we're going to go look at his with 74, 75, 74, 74, 75, 73, 74. Honestly, man, I like Newhouse. I'm going 6. Like I said, I'm taking the height, I'm taking the weight, and I'm taking the strength. There's not that much of a difference. A 68 overall compared to a 72 overall, it's not that big a deal. We're definitely going to go with that. We're definitely going Zeitler, and we'll keep, 6'7" Winston. He's definitely at only 82 strength. I like the height there. and we don't really have anybody else that's really kind of fancy anyway. So we will leave Andre Smith and Whitworth in there. Now, the strength to the Bengals, when they used to have Dunlap, was the fact that we could put one of these guys at linebacker. But we're going to stick with an 89 overall Dunlap at the #1 position for left end, and Margus Hunt at right end, because 6'8", 85 speed. We got two fast guys that I absolutely love. They're both tall. They weigh a good amount. As you can see, 88 strength for Margus Hunt. To have 85 speed and 88 strength is not common. So we're definitely going to go with that. But the question is, who do we want as our second guys? Now, since we're going with speed as our first string guys, we might want to go with, okay, so if the next guy comes in, do we have anybody that's really like got good speed that can be in at that position? We really don't. You know, Flowers here, you know, he's 6'3", 235, so he's not even though he's a linebacker, doesn't have the ability to transform into a lineman. Nothing here that we like. So what we're going to do is we're going to look to maybe stop the run. So let's look at strength. Man, they really just don't have anything that is going to be suitable. Brandon Thompson. What we might do at a 59 overall, you know, what we might do is we're going to put him in Clark's position, and we're going to consider Bill Gilberry and Thompson. Let's compare these two. I know the overall is a big discrepancy, and we are taking a defensive tackle, but you know, sometimes they might just offer something, but it looks like Thompson is just really bad overall, and he really is only going to offer us, you know, weight and strength, which can be good, but does he have anything? I don't want to take that leap. See, he does have the 88 hit power, and even though he's a lineman, like that can be something. He does have better tackle. His power moves aren't that much less. His finesse moves are, but his block shaking is a little bit. You know, I'm going to take that leap. I'm going to go with Thompson over Gilberry, just for run-stopping situations. This is only going to matter if one of the linemen get hurt, like one of the defensive ends get hurt. So it's not a huge deal, but we're definitely going to go with the fact that he is 325 pounds and has that 91 strength. And we know with these two defensive tackles, Pecco and Atkins, that he's never going to see the field anyway. We will put him at the third spot, but we'll still compare him to Devon Still, and let's see. So 82 strength, Devon Still, I mean, they're close. Still has 3 inches in height. He's got better agility. Just want to make sure that we cover all the ground. Again, that 88 hit power we like. Power moves is not that big a deal. Finesse moves, there's not that big a deal. But then when you take in the account block shedding, that's 3 attributes that are higher. That's tough. That's tough, you know, because strength, hit power, I do like height, 6 foot. Man, I don't know. I'm going to stick with that 88 hit power. You know, I like the 88 hit power with the 91 strength. I'm going to stick with it. I am going to stick with it. That's what I would do. Now, if it doesn't work out and you notice that maybe he's getting beat up, you can always make a change later on, of course. But I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to kind of reach out there. Linebackers, what do we got? So we got Ray, Malaluga, Nico Johnson, and Vontez Burfict. So Vontez Burfict has the hit power. He's only 77 speed. I'm never going to user control him, so we're good there. Who are we going to user control? Jason DeMonche? Or Marquise Flowers. I do like the 6'3" for usering 88 speed, and his acceleration is better. So again, I'm a 3-4 guy, so I'm going to bring Flowers all the way up here. And what I'll do is I'll switch these guys because it's going to be middle linebacker number 1 that I want to user control. So in this case, I will bring Malaluga over here and put him in the depth chart position number 1, because as I said in the Chicago Bears depth chart, that if I want to user this guy, if we can get 2 middle linebackers out in the field, then Malaluga will make it. If we only get 1 middle linebacker, then we're going to have the guy I'm going to use her, and then Malaluga. So, do you see what I'm saying? So, just by default. And then if we do have two middle linebackers, right, these two guys here, then Vincent Ray will make the field. So, Porter, Malaluga, Ray, and then just for usering possibilities, I'm going to bring him because he's got the speed. I always want to make sure that I'm using a fast guy. I don't care how terrible he is. Give me the speed. Give me the speed. Guys you're gonna think, oh well, what about catch? Doesn't matter. You played this game, you know they're gonna drop picks at random anyway. They're either gonna pick it or they're gonna drop it based on the programming. It doesn't matter, and that's what we're gonna go with. Let's go to corners now. 5'11", 5'10", 87 overall, 84 overall. Got a little bit better speed with Terrence Newman. But what I'm probably going to look, you know, press rating isn't really that, it's not really that big a deal. But I will consider it. Man and zone is 80 and 90 to 86. And I mean, it's pretty balanced overall. 6 points one way, 7 points the other way. Press rating is 89. So I will leave Leon Hall with his 1 inch of height better with the better press rating just in case we decide that we do want to press. And Newman is going to be my number 2. But let me just take a look. What's Kirkpatrick here? What kind of speeds he got? He's only an 87 speed, so that's actually false. So what I know that I'm going to do, because I know I like to blitz from the slot a lot, is we're going to get the 6'2" Kirkpatrick here at the number. You know, really, we could flip-flop these guys if we really felt like we wanted height on the outside. But let's play it safe. We'll keep Leon Hall at number 1, Kirkpatrick number 2, and for blitzing purposes, we'll put Newman in the slot because he does have better speed and acceleration. Then it comes to 4th string, Denard or Adam Jones. The speed and acceleration are what is that? What move is that? Juke move. You don't need juke move for a corner. Don't be fooled by numbers like that. Jump is a little bit better. Man and zone, 86, 87. We're going with Jones. Jones is the better player. So that's going to be our depth for that. Now Reggie Nelson has some speed. We're going to keep that there. We're going to keep Iloka there. Okay, so who's going to be... Oh, I apologize. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals with Taylor Mays, 6'3". Now, Taylor Mays takes a hit. I totally forgot about Ontario McCaleb. What am I doing? 98 speed, 97 excel at 5'10". I apologize, guys. Why did I not see him? These are the things we need to be careful of. So I didn't check all my resources. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put him here and him there, even though he's not going to make the field. So this is a tough one. I like Newman. I used to think Newman was overrated on the Cowboys, even when it came to Madden. But he's not bad. You know, it really depends on how you like to play. The speed is, you know, you like the speed, right? Especially when we're talking about the slot. I would say that if you really like to blitz from the slot, like a lot, you're going to make this change. If you like to do it once in a while, I'd keep it like this. That's what I would do. So now we're going to put Taylor Mays here. And we're going to put Taylor Mays, here, and then we're going to compare. Now, I already know that Reggie Nelson at 88 overall and 90 speed at his natural free safety position, he's staying put. So what are we going to do with Georgie Boy here? So 10-point difference in speed. Acceleration is the same. Awareness is a 12-point difference. What are some other key numbers here? Jump is 95 to 85, but Georgie Boy is a 6'4" to 6'3", of course. Hit power is close. Mays took a little bit of a hit in hit power, didn't he? Over the years, I think he might have been a little bit better than that. Now, zone coverage. I mean, this is a big deal here, right? I mean, we're talking about 9 points and 16 points. His press rating, this is a number not to get fooled by. I mean, he's a safety. You're not going to be pressing with your safety. What's play recognition? 75 to 55. Man, I got to tell you. I've been a big Taylor Mays guy, and, you know, I've heard, you know, that his, man, that's tough. I've heard that he just had a big card come out in Mutt lately, and he's gotten a lot of hype in Madden over the last little while. If you ever touch the safety and user control him in any way, then I would suggest you might want Mays in there, because you're going to be on him. You're going to control him from time to time. If you're the type of person that you're really going to stick on the linebacker no matter what, I would rely on Iloka to be able to make these plays, even at the 83 speed. This game is a little bit different than in years past. These numbers matter. Like an Eric Weddle is a beast in this game. Now, nobody knows that because nobody uses the Chargers. But he is a beast. He's got all the numbers in the game to be a monster safety, except for the height. In years past, without the speed, he was terrible. I just think that you're going to want to go more in that direction than speed. Plus, we are talking about, you know, generally a guy that would be 6'3", you'd be like, oh, gotta have that guy in there, man. Gotta get that height, that weight. But we're talking about a guy that's 6'4", 217. He's got the better play recognition, just the better player. So we're gonna stick with that, and we'll put Mays at the second spot for both of them. We only have a kicker and a punter, so we're not gonna look at that at all. Now, I did mention about kick returns in the last video. We don't care. If you're returning the ball out, the chances are you're not really getting touchdowns. You're getting fumbles. If anything, touchdowns can happen. But we're going to stick with Tate, because Tate doesn't really have a roster spot, and he is a 98 overall on the kick return, and he does have some speed. He doesn't really have the agility, but, you know, both of these guys are going to get the ball throughout the game anyway. We all know that everybody kicks differently. Kickoff specialist, we will keep the same. Whoops. Not necessarily. We're always just going to go and check kick power for kickoff specialist. And that's what we're going to go with. Long snappers a 99. And then our third down back. I'm gonna stick with, you know, putting Bernard as our third down back, because we want our best back to be in there. If it's third down and we want to make a change, then we will manually make that change. We don't want any surprises like on third down, having a guy that you don't want in there based on a play that you're going to do. So put your best guy in there, even though he's the more, you know, trucking guy. If you want to make that change because you know you're going to do like a halfback dive or something like that, then make that change. So that is it for the Cincinnati Bengals. And just like I said in the last video, once we are done making the changes to our depth chart, we are going to be able to go in and save those plays. So we go to Manage Files, Save Files, R1 over to Roster, go to Official, and it will save because there are no more depth chart changes for this year. So Cincinnati Bengals, I've got 2 depth charts that took about an hour to do 2 depth charts. That's just what I do. You know, I can't tell you anything different, man. That's just what I do. I'll see you guys soon.